Today we are at the Visitor Center of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's located in downtown Mesa, adjacent to the Mormon Temple. The settlers came to Mesa for the first time in 1877. This was part of Brigham Young's colonization. He was the second president of the Mormon Church. The first president was Joseph Smith. The church started in 1830. In 1843, if my memory serves me correctly, he was assassinated in Carthage, Illinois. Brigham Young, who was the senior member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, became the governing head of the church and led the Mormons from Nauvoo to Salt Lake City. When they got to Salt Lake City, he became very aggressive in populating the West, and they had 350 settlements throughout the West, one of which was Mesa. Daniel Webster Jones was the leader of the group that had been sent by Brigham Young to come down here and settle Mesa. Other families that came were the Chrismans, the Pomeroys, the Serines, and the Robesons, all of whom are still here today. When Brigham Young asked, "What kind of people do you want? Some of our other settlements in Arizona is busted. I don't want this one to Phoenix area to bust." And he said, "You give me men with large families and little means, so they have no way to come back when they get there." So that's the kind of people that were sent. I remember one of the interesting things, they said, "How will we know when we get there, Brigham?" And he said, "You will know." And the head of the party said, "I had an instant vision. I saw a hut with a horse and a man coming out and getting on the horse." He said, "When we got to what turned out to be Lehigh, which is North Mesa, there was a military post there with a hut and a horse." And he saw that, and one of the male people came out and got on the horse. And he said, "This is where we're staying." So the pioneers decided to stay here, I think, for a variety of reasons, one of which, as they started to dig canals for their farms, out in the Lehigh area, they found pre-existing canals that had been there 1,000, 2,000 years, that had been built by the Hohokams. And so they just had to dredge out, and these canals were made by the Indians. And those canals are still followed today. Temple was dedicated in 1927. It was announced by the church in 1922. Took about 5 years to prepare and build. It's one of the unusual ones in the sense it's square. It doesn't have a spire. Most temples, as you've probably seen, have a spire with the angel Moroni on top. And this one was a different architecture. Why they did it, I don't know, but it does have a different appearance. There's a frieze work around the temple that you may notice, which is symbolic of the gathering of Israel. One of the core beliefs of the church is that before the second coming of Jesus Christ, the house of Israel, the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, will be gathered, and the 10 tribes will be reunited. So the symbolism on the top of the Arizona Temple is that, it reflective of people being gathered from Germany, Denmark, India, China, wherever. It has historical significance in that it was the 9th temple in the history of the church. All the other temples, except those initially built back in Nauvoo and Kirtland, Ohio, were in Utah. So this was the first one in Arizona. It serves the Hispanic, the Mexican population, was part of its purpose, and also the Indian population. The church has grown very significantly here. I looked on a couple of days ago in preparation of this and noted we have 20 stakes in Mesa. A stake consists, it's kind of like a diocese. It consists of 6, 8, 10 wards. It would have 3,000 to 4,000 members, and assuming you have 20 at 4,000, you've got 80,000 people here in town that are members of the church, which would be 16% of the 500,000 population of Mesa. Early on, I would suspect we were a significantly higher percentage, but today we're about 15, 16%.